The world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed, Cody McClure. It's a day late. My bad. Scheduling conflict yesterday. Cody, how are you?
I'm doing all right, John. We are a day late and a dollar short, as they
I'm
say.
a couple dollars short, to be honest.
Yeah, what are you short on?
20s, 50s, big old titties.
Do you carry any cash, or do you keep any? I know you used to keep some in the center
Whoa,
console.
whoa, whoa. Don't tell everybody where I keep some cash. I don't need people breaking into my car. No, usually I keep a 20 in the center console just in case I run off and don't have a card or anything. That way I can always at least buy lunch if I have to.
Yeah, I still owe you that $10 from the Sonata.
Yeah, you stole $10 from me. To add it to the $485 you owe me for those LSU tickets. But right now in my wallet, I do actually have some cash because I was paid cash for tickets when I went to Detroit. Some people gave me cash for the tickets they bought from me. And I've just been carrying it around. There's some sitting on my dresser and there's some in my wallet. So right now, yes. It's so crazy when I do actually have cash, I don't spend it. I just keep it because it's so valuable. Like in case I have to have cash, I want to be able to have it. But any other time, I'll just go years without having any in my wallet unless somebody gives it to me.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. If I have cash, I got to spend it immediately because I feel like I shouldn't have it. And so if I've got it, I'm like, well, this cash is just sitting there. I need to spend it. As
Yeah,
the
no, I
uh,
protect my cash.
as the great song lyric goes, I never kept a dollar past sunset. Always burned a hole through my pants. You know that song?
No, not off of that lyric.
Do you like the lyric?
Say it one more time.
Never kept a dollar past sunset. It always burned a hole through my pants.
I mean, it's pretty elementary, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's Keith Richards.
Yeah,
Song called Happy. Burn,
that's those.
burn, burn,
Those are
burn,
bars,
burn.
man. That's deep. That looks like some of the screenshots I've seen from the Taylor Swift album today.
Oh, well, it's funny you mentioned that because that was on my list of topics. I actually listened to a few of the songs on my way home last night because all the girls were telling me that the new album dropped, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this on and just keep an open mind and see what I think about it. And I saw some people saying online, is it taking some heat? Like people think they don't like it, or
Well, I haven't. I think. Well, with her fans, I don't think she can do any wrong. So, like, the Swifties are going to
sure,
defend her to the death, and then you're also going to have the people that just want to hate on it regardless because it's popular. But it does seem like the middle slash her least diehard fans are a little underwhelmed. And there's a couple screenshots of just some of the lyrics about like rubbing on me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto. Like there's a couple of bars that are pretty cringy, but there's also 31 songs. So that seems like too much too. Like that's crazy that someone would put out 31 songs. There's no way that out of 31 songs, a couple of them don't stink.
well, yeah, that it seems kind of like she's doing too much. I mean, a 31 song album, it's like the year I guess during COVID she put out what two or three albums, and
Well,
I guess those were received well,
well,
but
yeah, I was going to say those were awesome. I think everyone kind of respects those, but also like putting out two albums during COVID when you have nothing going on is one thing, like because you can just kind of completely dive into the music and do all that. But she hasn't been doing that over the last 2 years. I mean, she's been doing 3.5 hour concerts, 4 times a week and traveling around the world and being a celebrity, dating and doing all this shit. So like you can't have the same amount of commitment to the craft,
uh-huh.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
31 songs is too much. Like no matter how talented the artist is, I feel like you're going to have some fluffer there. You're going to have some fluff. Like you might have a couple of good songs, but for the most part 31 songs it screams too much. I don't know why she's doing so much. I mean, who am I to criticize the biggest star in the world right now, but it sounds like too much material. and maybe she should have refined it. Maybe she should have left some of those on the cutting room floor.
It is what it is. People are going to love it. People are going to hate it.
So the critics are finally. Is there finally a little bit of? Are we seeing a little bit of a downturn? Like
Well, I don't know what critics are saying.
yeah.
I'm not seeing any reputable people. Like Rolling Stone apparently said, move like basically she's a better Adele. But like that's the one thing I saw from any type of critic, which seems crazy because
Not a better singer, right?
well, she's definitely not a better singer, but like she also doesn't, I don't think, write a sad love ballad or a sad song as good as Adele does either. But
I thought
I'm
that's
not a
what she was
Taylor
known
hater.
for.
I like Taylor. Well, no, she's not known for writing like love ballads. She's known for writing love songs. There's a difference, in my opinion.
I feel like we could write a Taylor Swift song. They're basically all like 3-chord, like it's like an F chord, a C chord, and a G chord, and it's like, I used to love you, and I gave you everything I had, and then you acted so bad. Like my criticism for Taylor Swift is just like, to me, all of her songs sound the same. On this album that I listened to, which I don't know her entire discography, but I listened to the one called "Thank You, Amy," and I listened to "Black Dog," which was not a cover of Led Zeppelin's "Black Dog." It was a totally different thing.
Now, Thank You, Amy is supposed to be about Kim Kardashian, right?
Oh, is that right? I don't know. She said something in there like she changed the name to avoid, I don't know, scrutiny or whatever.
I think that one's supposed to be about Kim Kardashian.
And that bitch famous.
But no, I listened to like one song. I listened to one with Post Malone on the way to radio this morning, but that's all I've.
The first song on the album, right?
Yeah, I mean, my commute's only 10 minutes, so like I listened to one song. So I don't have really a takeaway or a critique or anything.
Any count?
I thought it was good. I mean, I like Post Malone. I mean, it sounded nice, but like it didn't like jump out to me as like a classic song or anything.
That's something old Southern men say. Any count? Post Malone. Did I tell you about the joke I've been trying to figure out with him, where I call him pre-Malone?
So now you think he's pre-Malone. Okay, what's the joke?
No, it's like you find there's like a guy who's just walking around with like face tattoos but no talent, and he's like, you call that guy pre-Malone? I don't know. It's probably not funny, but it's just something I was thinking about. Like you just see like a stinky guy, he's got tattoos, he's wearing like a wife beater, like everyday average guy.
No, see,
Like,
I think that has to. I think
pre-Malone.
I think everyday average guy.
It's just Malone.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to have a Malone too. Everyday average guy, normal guy, that's pre-Malone. Whenever they start looking like they're a little stinky and like their life's going a little bit off the rails, that's Malone.
That's just Malone. And then
Yeah.
post Malone is success. It's
Well,
when
no, Post Malone's when you're just really, really stinky and really tatted up, and I don't know that's how I would do the transition there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where there's something there. It's just a premise, but I'm not smart enough to find a joke.
In my mind, the comedy would be calling someone just Malone.
What's
The
up,
pre
Malone?
Malone, yeah, just like the pre Malone doesn't really hit, but if you just describe the Malone transition, the walk from pre to just Malone, and then of course you hit the post after that, like that's the 3-parter would make it funny to me if you could properly set that up.
Oh, Malone.
That's just
Well,
Malone. That's just Malone.
then you got Maron. Speaking of music, I got to say, some guys last night told me that what was the direct quote here? Bro, your ox is fire. No cap, like Deadass. Your ox is fire. So I have successfully become the guy with the fire ox. Are you jealous?
Reddit / that didn't happen.
No, it did. I promise it did, because I can tell you the songs I played consecutively. It was
I don't
still.
think you would pick up. I don't think you would pick up a bunch of dudes.
I did actually. They had like a formal event. And three dudes wearing their little.
I definitely don't think you're picking up a bunch of frat dudes coming out of a formal.
I did. There were three dudes wearing their little tuxedos, and they told me Deadass, no cap, ox fire, or something like that. And so the songs I played consecutively, it was a 3-song ride. You tell me if this is fire. You're going to say it's not fire. You're going to say it's like chuggy because you're like the be-all, end-all fucking culture guy or whatever. But still, you got to put yourself in the shoes of like a 22-year-old frat dude, though. Still DRE, all right? Waves, and Till I Collapse.
Whenever you started saying still, I thought you were going to say still tipping. I was going to say, okay, so Cody's gotten out to Texas. Cody's gotten out of Texas, and he's listening to some Paul Wall and some Mike Jones, some Houston rap. Okay, he's trying to get into the Texas culture.
No,
but
you're too cultured. It's got to be a big enough hit.
Still tipping would hit in Texas. It's from 2000. It's from 2007, 2008. So it's still like a throwback. Like it's still No, that one would get people going.
But you got to think about the rap songs that appeal to like basic white America.
I think Still Tippin' does appeal to basic white America. Like when I was in college, I loved it and people love it. And there's a famous viral video I saw recently where there's this white boy really, really drunk in Texas, I believe, talking to some people out in the street, some black people out on the street, and they're trying to ask him if he's ever been in the hood. He's like, no. He's like, no, I ain't never been in the hood. And they're like, well, why not? He's like, I'll go. He's like, I like the hood. And he just starts rapping, Still Tipping. And they're basically that meme, the you are all right. Yeah, you right, white boy meme come to life. Boy. You right, white boy. It's still culturally relevant, but yeah, still DRE. That's that's a great beat. That's a great song.
Oh, of course, yeah. The beats by Dre.
Waves seems like a weird detour in that.
No, Waves Dr. hits hard. Waves hits hard when you first hear it because the opening bar of Waves, it's like, "Baria" or whatever it says.
Yeah,
Baria. It's like.
Yeah. I imagine it does hit hard when you're drunk and just vibing.
Oh, the college dudes, they love Life of Pablo. That's like their entire Kanye, 2016 or whatever that was, because they don't go much. Like if you were to play the first Kanye album, like that, they don't, all falls down. They're like, what is this? So anyway, I got the fire, no cap, dead ass. This language that these kids are using these days, is it just that like? Tell me if I'm right about that. Is it like Black America has no, listen, it's a compliment to them. Black America has like this language, like these phrases that they use, and then like white frat dudes just discover it like 15 years later. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Now 15 years is extreme, obviously. That's a little hyperbolic, but about 3 years later.
Yeah, dead ass.
FR.
I hate that one. I hate.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that I don't really like.
What are some others?
They changed. What was it? It's either LOL or LMAO that the kids changed.
Lots of love.
Yeah, that's what it is. LOL went from laugh out loud to lots of love. That was really weird to me. ASL went from age, sex, location to as hell. So if I was going to say that Shawty was bad as hell, I would say Shawty bad ASL.
Whereas is that what the whites say?
Well, I think it's just the online culture, the slang. I think at a certain point it crosses over into races and it just becomes universally accepted among the youth. But like to me, ASL is age, sex, location, to which you're talking to some creep online trying to have sex in a chat room when you're like 13 years old, 14 years old.
Okay.
Not as hell, just a little horny kid trying to find something to masturbate to.
You got a lot of experience in that? Is that what you were doing at that age?
Yeah.
You were in weird chat rooms?
It was. I don't know if they were weird chat rooms, but at the time, they didn't seem weird, but I mean, I imagine every Yahoo chat room was pretty weird. I'd imagine there was a lot of creeps in there for sure.
Probably so.
And they had some teen ones, but I imagine there was a lot of creeps in the teen ones too.
No doubt. No cap. When I was coming up,
Deadass, bro.
Yeah.
See,
I wish
that's where you'd say dead ass, not no cap. Just dead ass would fit better there.
Oh, okay. Facts?
Dead ass is the new facts.
They still say facts, though.
Yeah, but dead ass. Well, maybe in a couple of years they'll say dead ass instead, I guess. But maybe they're
Well,
still in the no cap part of it.
they're definitely saying it now. Facts, bro.
Yeah,
Anyway,
dead
so
ass.
yeah. So well, that's all I had on that topic. A man has set himself on fire. This is breaking news as of Friday afternoon. No one will listen to this. Probably nobody listens to Friday shows, but maybe people will consume this podcast over the weekend. You think? Perhaps? Maybe? Anyway,
Possibly.
a man set himself on fire outside the courthouse where Trump was. I guess Trump's in court today again, doing whatever he does when he goes to court. And a man set himself on fire. Facts.
Although I got to say that it was both nice, but also a little alarming that I didn't post one yesterday and no one complained, but also no one maybe noticed.
I noticed that too, that no one seemed to care that we didn't put out a podcast yesterday. So I was like, oh boy, this is a real hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little disheartening, but also made me happy that like no one was in my mentions. Like, where's it at? Where's it at? Making me feel bad about it, just because it's the only time we've been a day late. So like, when it first started, maybe like episode 9 or 10, there was one time I didn't get it posted to like 7 or 8 o'clock, and I had people in my DMs asking if it was still coming out. But then today and yesterday, nothing. So yeah, I don't know if I feel like that's a bad sign. Maybe.
I feel like maybe it's just the later you go in the week. Like once you get to Thursday, Friday, I always said nobody listened to Friday shows. And I know you always said that's not true, but maybe it's not that people didn't listen, but we never got as much interaction. I swear on Fridays, like just people tweeting and people in the chat room and stuff. Like
I would say that's accurate because music comes out on Friday, but people still listen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people still listen, but like Fridays are Fridays, man, and like Thursday's basically the new Friday. Like people start drinking, they got plans. People got plans on Thursdays. Maybe we should do the pods Monday and Wednesday. You think? No? All right. Well, what are you gonna do? I could tell by your eyes you were gonna say no.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna say I don't know.
Maybe. Might be an idea.
Perhaps.
What was I gonna say? I was thinking about.
I was
something.
gonna say just take the pod down to once a week if no one cares.
I don't think it's that they don't care. I did have one person ask yesterday.
If this doesn't get 100 likes on YouTube, we're going to one a week.
It's definitely not going to get 100 likes on YouTube.
It will if people care.
It might get 100 views on YouTube.
No, it needs 100 likes on YouTube. If it doesn't get 100 likes on YouTube, we're going to one a week.
I feel like people don't even watch it on YouTube that much, though.
Well, they have to seek it out. You know, we get like 170 plays on average on YouTube, which is fine. You know, I got no issue with the YouTube numbers because I don't really know how to promote it there. But I've started putting tags in. I guess for a while I wasn't putting tags. I didn't go down to the right section and see that you could put tags for certain topics. But if you're listening on just a podcast audio version, you're going to have to do a little work, and you're going to have to go to YouTube and look up the world's greatest podcast in America, and then put the date in it, and it should come up, and then like it. That's it. If it doesn't get 100 likes on YouTube, by next Friday, I'll give you a full week, because I know some people listen a little bit later. A full week, though, if we don't get at least 5 comments and 100 likes, we're going to one a week. So if the audience wants it twice a week, you better take your ass to YouTube and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe while you're there.
Well, I will say my buddy Clint from back home called me yesterday at like 4 o'clock, and he's like, "Where's the podcast?"
Oh, nice. So shout out to Clint. We got one person.
So Clint is at least one person who cared about the podcast yesterday. But maybe if you just put like tags that things we're not even talking about, but that are popular, would that help? Like if you just put Taylor Swift, Trump.
Well, Taylor Swift's going to be on here for sure this time, and like Caitlyn Clark's been on a couple. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you might. I feel like Caitlyn Clark's pretty famous, bro. I don't know if you've seen.
I don't think she's the second leading trend on YouTube, though, is she? Like,
oh well, no, I don't know about on YouTube, but maybe actually. I mean, like at times the last couple of weeks, I'd say she has been. Honestly, she's been a main character this week for sure. Like, what else has trended this week?
Well, Trump. I'm just thinking like things that are always trending, like Trump, Taylor Swift, like war in Israel. Um, I don't know.
You think those people are trending nonstop all times, no matter what happens? Now, obviously, Taylor Swift put an album out, so yeah, she's going to be the number one trend today. But I just mean, you think
Well,
Donald Trump and Taylor Swift are the top trends no matter what every week?
I don't know. I mean, not to go back to the most famous conversation, but just like people that trend most often in like 2024, I would say. I mean, it's an election year, so obviously like Biden, like
I would say Caitlyn Clark's in the top 5 of people that have trended this year so far.
facts, Deadass. You shitting me, bro?
It might be Cat, but like it's possible because I mean, just every time she played, especially in the tournament, and then she got drafted this week, and 2 million people watched the draft. But then we've been arguing about it all week about like how she got a signature shoe, and Asia Wilson doesn't have a signature shoe, so now it's really ramping up on a racial scale. So like I think she would be maybe not top 5, but top 10. I'd have to think about the top 5 because I don't know who else would have trended as much. I guess the NFL's playoffs would matter. That still matters way more.
Iran.
So Mahomes and Kelsey and who'd you say?
Iran.
I haven't thought much about Iran. I've thought more about Caitlyn Clark than Iran, to be honest.
I bet you have. I bet you have. How long do you think it would take you to get off when you think about Iran while you masturbate?
I can't get off at all just thinking about something masturbating.
That's weird to me.
I have to be stimulated.
What if Saddam Hussein was stroking you off? That's a weird thing to say. I take that back. He's been dead for years.
I'm going to cut that out of the podcast.
Yeah, not my best. Deadass. Speaking of football, though, hey, did you hear the news today? College football getting the 2-minute warning and helmet communications this year. How about that?
Yeah,
Crazy,
we had
huh?
that story like 4 months ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I just saw today that it
They
just
made it
came down
official.
like officially.
They made it official. They're trying to make it more NFL-like, I guess. What do you think about it as someone who is a college football person who used to have CFB in their Twitter handle?
It's so weird to me now that I don't talk sports on a daily basis because when I see a story like that, I'm just like, okay, that's information. Like, I don't have any thoughts about it. I'm just like, interesting. I'll await that when football season gets here. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, 2-minute warning. Cool. I watch the NFL. They do that. Helmet communication. Cool. That'll be interesting. Let's see what happens in September. Like, I just don't have any like thoughts about it, you know? Do you feel that way when you see like news, like just, I guess, regular like sports headline news?
Well, no, everything I see sports-wise, I store away and try to just at least remember it in case it ever comes back up. I feel that way about other news that doesn't interest me, that I don't have enough space up there for other stuff. But no, all the sports stuff I pretty much try to keep in the back of my mind. I try to remember that way. I can be like, oh, yeah, I saw that. Or, oh, yeah, so I saw this the other day. So, yeah, like that's why I remember talking about that 4 months ago, because it was a story I spent 15 minutes talking about. And once it does that, it goes into the back of my mind. That way I can call it back if needed.
You have your own bookmarks. They're just mentally, instead of being like on Twitter, they're mental bookmarks.
It's gotten worse, since I've been getting less sleep, but I still have some pretty good recall. I still do a pretty good job of retaining all that stuff. But if I got to where I wasn't talking about sports anymore, my interest in sports would, crater. There'd be so much stuff that I just didn't give a shit about anymore. And like that story that you just told me about the 2-minute warning and all that, that would be something. I'd be that guy that just shows up to watch the games and not really know anything that's changed.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like that's interesting though that you say that your interest would crater if you quit talking about it.
It would crater.
Like
it would crater.
Well, do you not find it cratering when you are talking about it, or like you feel like you have to stay sharp because? No,
I just said I have to stay sharp. I have to retain everything. I have to be aware of everything that's going on. I'm a professional. I talk at least 18 hours a week to the public, and I'm not as sharp as I once was, but I'm still pretty good. I've been fucking up names a lot more recently, but that's okay.
It just comes with age, I think.
It just comes. I mean, yes, it does come with age, but I don't think I'm at that age where it should be happening to me. It's just there's so many names to remember and so many people that just don't truly matter.
Yeah.
Like having to remember all these names, just like for instance, like in the Tennessee transfer portal, like every prospect in basketball has been linked to Tennessee. Like
I know.
I just want to give a fuck about them when they actually get here and show they can play, like show they're going to be on the team. I don't want to have to remember 7 different guys from across the country, like Igor Milicic, who may or may not come here. Who knows?
There is one name that I've seen floating around talking about prospects that I think is going to be easy to remember, and it's a kid named Ryan Knigga. That's how you spell his last name.
Who?
And Ryan Knigga.
I can't visualize it when people spell. I've never been able to do that. You have to say it to me. I'm an auditory learner.
Let's go with Knigga. Let's say that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but see, that's what people are struggling with. These college football analysts and scouts and stuff trying to figure out, because this kid, I guess he's like coming up through high school, and I guess he's a pretty talented prospect, and so people are kind of struggling with that, trying to figure out how to pronounce this kid's name, because could be a little tricky, just based on the spelling. I just call him Ryan K. Ryan K's on campus this weekend.
It would be interesting if that was his actual name.
It is his name.
Well, you don't know how to pronounce it, though, is what I'm saying. You don't know how it's pronounced. But I'm saying if the actual pronunciation was that, that's what you're beating around the bush of. If that was actually his name, how would people handle it?
You just got to say it, I guess.
Like, it's crazy, but what would you do?
There would be some guys that would be like, yes, finally I get to say
Checkmate, libs.
yeah, like Vern Lundquist. He's just like, I've always wanted it. I saw an old clip the other day of Vern. Did you see that clip when he was like a young reporter in San Francisco or somewhere? And he was his vocabulary was so great. Like he was so talented, just the way that he spoke. And you were talking about how you're forgetting names more now. And I think that maybe that's what it is. Like the older you get, like that's what happened to Vern. He was this talented young broadcaster, had this expansive vocabulary. And then by the time he was in his 70s calling college football, everybody's like, God damn, Vern. Like, can't even remember the kid's name.
Well, that's the thing is like all these old people who kind of suck probably used to be really, really badass. Like really, really good at what they did. Yeah, like even Dick Vitale, like watching him age, like maybe it was just because I was a kid, but like he was awesome in like the 90s. And then he turns into just an old geezer, before our eyes, kind of the same as Lee Corso, right? Like he was awesome on game day in the late 90s, and then he ages and just becomes, a statue, a puppet up there, a weekend at Bernie's. I don't know what to call him, but yeah, like that's the thing. Like all these guys who are old and suck used to be badass, probably.
Well, I think we have seen that like retirement is no longer a thing. I mean, people don't. Not that people don't retire anymore, but like, I mean, when the president of the United States is 80 years old. Like, and then you've got, like you said, guys like Lee Corso, sports broadcasting, those guys hang on forever. There's some things you have to retire at, like if you're a professional athlete, obviously. But
unless you're LeBron James.
Yeah, but he'll have to retire eventually.
But yeah, I was going to say, I guess I'm making all the sports comparisons. But yeah, Joe Biden used to be really good at talking.
Is that a joke? Because he never was? Because he had the speech impediment or whatever?
Oh, no, I used to think he was a really sharp person. Didn't he get credit for that? I mean, I feel like, the speech impediment I don't really pay attention to, but like I feel like he did used to be good at talking. I remember that from the early Obama years. Like he seemed sharp.
I just know like that's what the left has been, that like when they tried to first run him and he could barely talk, and they were like, no, it's his speech impediment. He's always had this. That's why it's not cognitive decline at all.
That's not the way I remember it.
Oh, I don't know. Fox News, that's what they said. You guys have a big golf event tomorrow. Tomorrow, the sun will come out tomorrow.
I've got 8 cases of booze in the back of my car. I might keep 2 at home. shortchange the event. Maybe keep 4 of them at home. I don't know. Keep my belly full and keep me buzzing at home for a while.
Old Johnny Booze Bags.
Yeah, shout out to my guys over at Cherokee. They loaded me up with some White Claw and some Surfside, and it's going to be an early morning, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is what time we are teeing off tomorrow.
Have you ever thought about just becoming a drunk? Like you said, you're having trouble sleeping. You've had trouble sleeping. Like, could you be a functioning alcoholic? You think if you just like.
Yeah, no. If I committed to it, yeah, like yes, 100%. Yeah, it's
like
not hard.
Real
You just
booze bag.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard. You just drink. It's not hard for me to become I think I could very easily become a functioning alcoholic. Kind of like I know some people that are like functioning like weed heads, who just smoke weed all the time and can still, get around. I feel like I'm already pretty like if I'm drunk. It feels like these days I hold it together pretty good, even when I'm like really, really drunk.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of just being able to act normal and like just blend in. I think that's half of it. It's just being able to like walk around and like not do anything embarrassing. Like when you say functioning, like yeah, like I feel like I could do that for sure.
I mean, one of these guys that's red in the face, though. Like,
well, I mean, I don't want to do that, but I'm saying yes. I could wake up and drink from when I get up at like 11 a.m. or whatever and drink all day and be pretty good at functioning and being able to do stuff and not
driving.
Yeah, driving and just riding around and like keeping a buzz all day because my tolerance is pretty high. I'm a pretty big old boy. Like, I could do those things for sure. It's not hard. You just can't get sloppy. Like you gotta function and like to keep a buzz from start to finish. Like, yeah, I could do that.
Who do you consider to be the greatest drunks of all time?
The greatest drunks of all time?
Like guys that were just known for just hitting it all day, every day.
My Uncle Jeff was pretty good at it. He would wake up and just he got into a couple of mishaps with the law, and whether or not he beat his girlfriend, we don't really know. So you could say, like, when you say great drunk, I guess I'm thinking of the drunkest people I know, maybe not necessarily the best at hiding it. I had a preacher as well growing up that apparently was a big alcoholic, but
what a hypocrite.
I don't have an Uncle Jeff. That was just a joke. I don't have an Uncle Jeff.
Oh, I believed it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? That's how I got you. I'm a master troll.
Yeah, weird thing to lie about. Yeah.
I don't know any great drunks.
I have my phone propped up against a candle. You would believe that,
I wouldn't believe it because I wouldn't give it any second thoughts.
It's just a weird thing to lie about, I think of Winston Churchill. You ever hear the stories about him where he would wake up and he woke up drinking. He just started his day with like brandy, and then he would just lay in bed for like 2 hours, and they would bring him this massive full English breakfast. The full English breakfast. They eat like beans and tomatoes and stuff, and like eggs and meat and whatever, sausages. And he would just spend like his first 2 hours every day in bed, like drinking brandy. And he would finally get up when he felt like drunk enough to get out of bed. And he just functioned.
I did not know that about Winston Churchill.
Yeah,
one thing I knew about Winston Churchill was he was a big old boy.
Yeah, well, he's bloated from all the booze. Hemingway, he was known for his drunken behavior. I've never been a drunk though, because I'm just a binge drinker. I can't drink. I've never been able to drink every day.
It's funny you ask this because I have thought about it. I have thought about what it would take just to, because it'd be nice. I enjoy being
drunk
drunk
all day.
Yeah, I enjoy being drunk. It's just the next day always sucks. But if you just woke up and kept drinking the next day to make yourself feel better, like I can see why that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, because I feel like your body just responds to that. Like it just knows that that's what's coming in. Eventually, the hangovers are kind of numbed, I would think.
Well, yeah, and then then you have to worry about alcohol dependence and withdrawal and all those things. Like it's not something you need to get into. I've talked to you about that movie before, though, like the Another Round movie, the foreign film that they're actually remaking in America soon. But like, a guy talks about how your ideal human body, your ideal human physique, or your ideal just functioning human has a blood alcohol level of 0.05. Like that's when the human body is at its best. The human mind is at its best.
Is that
So,
right?
I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. That was like what somebody theorized, and this group of guys all decided to try it, and with varying results. One guy handles it pretty well. He's kind of a nerdy, shy teacher, but like he hates his job. His wife hates him. His kids hate him. But then he's got a buzz all the time, and he's funny and charming, and he has confidence when he's teaching. Then all of a sudden, the kids are paying attention to him, and he's just getting drunk or he's drinking throughout the day, but he's like funny and they like him. Life of the party type of drunk. That's kind of what I feel like I am when I'm sober. Yeah, I mean, I could turn it up when I'm performing, but or doing podcasts is what I mean by performing in radio. But like in my regular life off the air, like I keep to myself for the most part. Like I can talk to people, but I don't really go out of my way to talk to people.
Yeah, I feel like people don't know that about you. Like if you're just out in public, you actually seem kind of introverted. Like
I always tell
if you're
people
not doing a podcast or radio or something.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm shy, and that no one ever really believes it. Like I consider myself shy, like not like socially awkward or anything. Like I can be in a room and talk to people, but I don't necessarily like it.
Yeah, but yeah, you are kind of quiet though when you're just out living life.
But you give me one drink. You get me at that 0.05, and I'm great. I talk to everybody.
So the theory is that the mind works best just operating at like a drink and a half level, maybe.
Yeah, like you remove your anxiety, like you get confidence. Now
maybe
the problem
I should start doing that when I'm doing my Uber.
Well, the problem in the movie is like there's 4 friends, and like one of them just completely fucks up his life and becomes a drunk, like he can't handle it, and he like goes off the deep end and becomes like a full-fledged alcoholic. So like, you do have to worry about that because not everybody can handle it.
Yeah. Have you ever gone on a bender? Like actually just stayed drunk for, I don't know, like 3 days? Like just fully, like basically you wake up drinking and then you just stay drunk for 3 days other than sleep?
Man, that's kind of what I did in Detroit, honestly.
Did you have a drink as soon as you woke up?
Within like 2 hours.
Yeah.
On both Saturday and Sunday. Like, we touched down in Detroit basically at like 9 a.m., and we sat in the hotel bar and drank from 9 a.m. to about noon. And I rode that out to about, 2 a.m. in the morning drinking, or about 1 a.m. in the morning drinking. After the game, I guess we went to a pizza place, and I didn't get a drink there. But, like, from 9 a.m. to, like, midnight, I had me a really nice drink going on outside of, like, a 45-minute nap. And then, Saturday woke up, we walked and got breakfast, and then started not exactly when I woke up, but like by noon, by like 1. So maybe there was like 3 hours there. We walked around a museum for a bit, and I didn't drink there. But
yeah, I still don't believe that. But when's the last time? Have you ever blacked out?
No. See that's why I can't be a drunk. I don't black out.
Well, no,
I've never blacked out. I remember every shameful thing I say or do, and that gives me such shame the next day. I cringe so hard thinking about things I do. And like it really ruins the idea of drinking to me. I wish there are so many people who at least pretend to black out and act like they don't remember all the dumb shit they did. That's never been me. I always remember everything, and I get so embarrassed. I feel so much shame.
Trust me, I can relate. Yeah, but some of it actually is blacking out. Like some things I actually don't remember. Like I do black out, and I was thinking like, wouldn't it be cool if at the end of your life you could get all your blackout time just added at the end? You know how they do like stoppage time in soccer? Like, I feel like when you're getting ready, you're about to die and like your life's coming to an end. And then God is like, hey, here's an extra 17 hours that you spent blacked out in your life. And you can have that added onto your end days.
I gotta say, honestly, I probably wouldn't want it because I feel like when you die, like if you're on your deathbed, you don't want to be hanging around for 17 more hours.
Well, no, maybe not if you're on a deathbed, but like if I'm saying like
I'm scheduled to die in a car crash, but God's like, hey, you're dying in this car crash, but here's 17 more hours to enjoy before you die in this car crash. That just seems like a weird proposition.
Because when you're blacked out, you're not really living that life. You're not really living life. You're in this like other dimension. It is a freaky thing, like to just not remember periods of time. Because I've definitely blacked out. Where I've had several hour long blackouts. Where like somebody will tell me, "Yeah, we were drinking at 10 p.m. at so and so bar." I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that vaguely." And they're like, "Yeah," and then we went here and we drank till 3 a.m. I'm like, "I don't recall that."
Yeah, see, that doesn't happen to me. There'll be pretty much everything will come back to me over the next day and a
Yeah.
half over various times, and I'll remember everything, pretty much specifically. And like I
You
said,
don't
usually
ever.
that's filled with shame. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I said that to that person.
That's the
Oh,
worst
that's
part.
embarrassing. Yeah.
That next day anxiety. That's kind of what made me want to like stop drinking. Is just like, and my tolerance is not high because I just drink in party situations. Because I stay sober otherwise, pretty much. And so then I try to drink like I used to, and it's just shit show.
You getting drunk tonight?
No, no, I'll be driving Uber tonight, I imagine. Can't really mix the two. It's one of those things you can't really drink on the job. I was telling the sexy goth girl about that last night because she was asking me what my favorite thing to drink is, and I was like, I don't know, vodka probably.
What'd she
And
say? Blood?
I wish. No, she said she liked vodka too. She's like, yeah, I drink Red Bull vodkas. I'm like, oh, I love Red Bull vodkas. Those are great. And I showed her my sugar free. I'm like, yeah, I drink the sugar free Red Bull,
I'm
and
healthy.
yeah, yeah. And she's like, oh, you have vodka in there? I was like, no, I can't drink vodka while I'm driving. What are you, crazy? What are you, crazy, silly girl?
One guy picked me up, and I believe in Tampa when I went for the bowl game, and he drove us to the bar. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I'm taking a little break. I was just at a party with some friends, so I figured I'd get out and drive a little bit. And I was like, wait, you've been drinking? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have been drinking, but I figured I'd get out and make a little money right quick while it's surging. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
At least he's honest, I guess.
Yeah, we were just like, oh, all right. Well, it was only like, 5 miles, so I guess we decided we'd just risk it. But, yeah, it was kind of crazy.
I
So
can't
you can
imagine.
do it. I have had a drunk Uber driver before. You can do it.
I can't imagine admitting that to your passengers. Like, wouldn't you keep that a secret?
When
Like,
you're drunk, you don't have that filter, man.
that's true. That's true. And you got to make money, So you got to take risks where you can.
It was like New Year's Eve too, because like it was New Year's Eve, so we were going down to do something for it, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been at a party," because we were like, basically like, "Oh man, it sucks that you don't get to do anything for New Year's. You're just gonna work." He's like, "Oh no, I've been partying." He's like, "I'm just taking a little break."
I've told people before, like when like if I was at a Super Bowl party or something, and then I drove after that, and they'd be like, "Whoa, you were at a party before this?" I was like, "Yeah, but I wasn't drinking." I was like, they just assume you're drinking if you're, or because I've told them like, "Yeah, I just went to the bar and watched the game." They're like, "Whoa, you were at a bar and then you came here?" Like, just because you're at a bar doesn't mean you're drinking, but
It does for most normal people.
most people, yeah, yeah. And if I wasn't driving Uber, I would be drinking, but. So the golf event tomorrow, I was going to ask you, are you playing?
No, come on, I'm not playing. I got to make sure everything runs smoothly. I feel so anxious about it. I hate doing events like these.
Just start drinking.
Well, I'm going to. I'm going to. But no, I won't be playing. I might we're doing a putting contest too. We're giving away some pretty good prizes, so I don't know if I'm eligible to win the prizes, but I might partake in the putting competition.
What time is everybody teeing off?
9 a.m.
Okay, so it's just like a 3-hole, right? Or like what are they? Or what are
Par
they? No,
three. Par three.
Par three. Par three.
Yeah. I was gonna say no. We are playing more than 3 holes. Yes.
Yeah. So no drivers. Everybody's just.
Apparently, at the place, there's a hole that's 240 yards. So I would imagine some people maybe drive that.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I mean,
You could still use a driver on every hole if you're not any good.
Right.
Like,
I mean, some people probably hit their driver about 180 yards. So I mean, like, yeah. I think it's.
Driver
some people will still
putter.
Some people will still be using a driver. Yeah.
That's all I would need if I was playing is a driver and a putter. Just drive it right up on the green.
That's all you need.
yeah, yeah. If you're efficient, that's all you need. I was hoping to get like a Marcus cam. Just follow Marcus around. I think that'd be fun content if you just followed Marcus around every hole.
He said he is going to caddy. He's going to caddy for Houston and Sam's team. And Houston, Sam, Tucker, and Julia have a team, and I think Marcus said he's caddying for them.
Oh, okay. Are they the only ones that are actually playing from the station?
No, Jake's playing on a team. Brett's playing on a different team with his friends. So, like, there'll be some other people there for sure.
I kind of wish you were playing.
Why?
Why aren't you playing? I mean, it seems fun.
I'm not any good.
Well, neither are half the people playing, probably.
No, I mean, I can't even, like, hit the ball.
You could hit the ball.
No, I can't. No, I can't. I can't. It's like I could putt the ball.
You could play a short game. You could chip. You could probably like chip.
I could if it's right off the green, I could do enough to get it onto the green. Yes.
Get it up on the green. Yeah.
Yes, I could do that. But no, I cannot hit it. Yeah, I cannot hit it.
Just tap it in.
I played before with some friends and I just putted. Like if they all hit it like out of bounds, they'd be like, "Hey, just slap that thing like 30 yards down the middle and let us hit from there instead of out of bounds or in the rough." And I could do that, but no, I can't play. I suck.
I was hoping
we didn't golf. We didn't golf on the farm growing up, and then I was left-handed, so none of my friends in junior high or high school ever had clubs for me to like play and learn. So I never figured it out. I feel like I'm too old now.
I was just hoping that Marcus would be playing, and like I think a fun job would be to follow Marcus around and just be the broadcaster for his shots. Here comes Young up to the tee. Marcus
it would be pretty good.
Getting ready to drive this one off. And he rears back, and there goes the ball, 10 yards, right in the dirt.
I'm just interested to see what Marcus wears and how he behaves.
He's going to wear that. He's going to wear that fucking chip Charlie Ho hat that he's the go to hell hat. He's going to wear. It's a plaid fedora thing, probably.
Like, I'll text him and tell him that you suggest you have requested him wear that.
Tell him to wear his go to hell hat. That's what my granddad always called those. You see a guy in a fedora. That's what I call them.
I'll tell him it has been requested.
I had an issue yesterday with some ice cream.
Okay.
I've got this little refrigerator thing in my room, but it's not like a full fridge. It's bigger than a mini fridge, but not as big as a big fridge. And it's got like this frozen ice compartment in the top. And I think I assumed that was a freezer. And I guess it's not a freezer. And so I got one of those like 12 packs of the Bluebell cups, which I love those. The like 6 chocolate and 6 vanilla. And it tastes just like the good old days, which is what I like about Bluebell. And I don't know. I feel like lately I've been giving myself too many treats.
It sounds like a Taylor Swift lyric. She has one on her new album that says she wishes it was the 1830s without the racism.
That's a terrible lyric.
It's not exactly it's not exactly what she said, but yeah, she said if she could pick like a decade to live, it would be the 1830s without the racism.
What a dumb bitch. Anyway, so I got my 12 packs of Bluebell ice cream, and I put them up in what I thought was this freezer compartment. And I wake up yesterday morning, and
they're all melted.
The thing is like dripping. Like the fridge is full of like water. And so like, I guess this like ice block thing up top had gotten overpowered by the ice cream somehow. I have no idea what happened. And so everything in the fridge was like covered in water. And yeah, all my Bluebell cups were melted. So I only got to eat like 3 of my Bluebell cups because I ate like 3 of them when I got home. And the rest of them I had to throw out. And I thought, what a waste of the good old days. But maybe
it's kind of poetic, right? The good old days have wasted away. There are no more good old days, buddy.
Yeah. Are the good times really over for good, as Merle Haggard once asked? Apparently they are. But so I had to throw out all that Bluebell, and it's not inexpensive either. Those Bluebell single serve cups are kind of pricey. So I wasted a whole bunch of Bluebell ice cream, but I was thinking maybe it's just a sign from above that I've been giving myself too many treats.
Honestly, like, it's impossible to afford treats, man. Like, every time I'm in a store and I see that like a regular candy bar is like $2.80, I'm like, who the hell
Yeah,
is paying $2.80 for a candy bar? Like, every now and then I'll think about getting one. Like, I was in Party City yesterday buying like raffle tickets for the golf tournament. And I was like, you know what? A little chocolate bar sounds like a good idea. And it was like $2.80 or like two for $5. And I was like, nope, never mind, not doing that.
crazy. $5 for chocolate bars. Were they king size at least? I guess.
I don't think so, actually.
Jesus Christ. Gonna start making your own chocolate, I guess. I feel like Dove bars are still a little bit cheaper than like Hershey's, but
Yeah, I don't know. I never get the Dove bars.
they're not bad. Different than the Hershey's chocolate, but not bad. They do an okay job.
Anything else?
Yeah, another thing that issue I had this. I don't know. I guess part of the podcast is just me telling you about my issues for the week, just things that happened. But um, we got these homeless window washers,
Okay.
and they're very aggressive. So you pull up to the intersection, like you're getting off the interstate, and you get into like downtown, you pull up off the exit ramp and you're getting ready to take a left at the light. And they just come up to you and start washing your windshield, even if you don't ask them to. And so
Old school, the good old days. That's what I picture from back in the day when the people used to come and just start spraying stuff and wiping down. That happens in the movies all the time.
well, it's kind of a wild thing to do to me, like, because I don't, like, unless you ask for it. Like, they're trying to make a little money. They're trying to act like they're working, because homeless people, these people, they work harder at not working than they would just getting a job. But they walk up to you and they just immediately start doing it. Like, I feel like you should have to ask for consent, shouldn't you? Like, I don't want you.
That's what people would say. Yes.
Well, so one of them started to come up to me a couple days ago, and I just shoot him away. I said no. Like, I don't want it, because I go through the car wash. I don't want your streaks. I don't trust his
abilities.
I don't trust his abilities to not leave streaks. You know what I'm saying? So
you got to get out and you just got to whip his ass next time.
well, I'm not going to do that, but like I said no, and luckily he went away. But the car beside me, the guy he went up to that car and he just started doing it. And I could see the woman driving the car, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And so the light turns green because they just come out there while you're sitting at the stoplight. They have no sense of time of like
they don't care.
Yeah,
society's norms do not affect them.
Well, it's like how they just cross the street in front of like the light's
right.
green and they just start walking. It's like, hey, I could just fucking smash you right here if I wanted to. But anyway, and so this car just took off and had like one of the windshield wipers was up in the air because he had raised the windshield wiper to try to clean up the window, and this woman's just like, what are you doing, man? And like the light turns green and she just takes off, and so the window washing guys are like, wow, what are you doing? So like he was taken aback by the fact that she sped away, and so I was just watching her drive down the road with her windshield wiper up in the air. But I'm like, these guys should have to, like,
What are you going to do? Arrest them? They don't care.
I don't know what you can do about it, really.
You run them over. Really. You put them out of their misery. Hell, some of them wouldn't mind probably. Just like, hey, I'm going to walk out in front of this traffic, just hoping that someone will hit me. Either I get rich or I die. Neither one. It's worth the gamble for them.
Get rich or die trying.
At some point, that's what you should play those college kids. Be like, hey, frat boys, I got something that you guys don't know nothing about.
Facts.
Deadass. That's a good place for us to end it. Remember, 100 likes on YouTube, or else the podcast is going to one time a week only. That's a promise. You got a week to do it. Cody, have a good weekend, my friend.
All right, you too. Enjoy the golf tournament.
I will. See you, bye.